Most of the world's leaders are part of a group called the United Nations. They work together on solving problems to help make the world a better place.
The United Nations have agreed to set a group of goals to help people get out of poverty and stay out of poverty.
These are called Sustainable Development Goals.
In total, there are 17 goals.
No poverty, zero hunger, good health, quality education,
Gender equality,
clean water and sanitation,
affordable and clean energy,
good jobs and economic growth,
innovation and infrastructure,
reduced inequalities,
sustainable cities and communities,
responsible consumption,
climate action,
life below water,
life on land,
peace, justice and strong institutions,
partnerships for the goals.
Goal 6 is to get clean water and sanitation to everybody around the world by the year 2030.
That's just over 10 years away.
Sanitation is about being clean, healthy and free from germs.
We want to make you aware of why this goal is so important.
As a right to fit in school, we know that according to Article 24, every child has a right to safe water to drink and every child has a right to a clean, safe environment.
However, around 1.8 billion people in the world use sources of drinking water that is not safe and clean to drink.
Wow, that's a lot of people. If they stood in line and held hands, it would go around Earth at least 675 times.
2.4 billion people don't have access to basic sanitation and services such as toilets.
If they all stood in line holding hands, they would go around the world at least 900 times.
Each day, over 1,000 children die due to preventable water and sanitation-related diseases.
That's really sad. That is 1,000 brothers and sisters and friends gone forever.
We asked some children in our school to think about one thing that we have in school that they couldn't live without.
Learning,
I think it's the teachers.
Money.
lunch,
Education. I think it's learning so you can get a bit smarter. Teachers.
Friends.
Food.
And the teachers.
Clean water and food.
food,
Equipment.
I think kindness.
The answer to this question is taps and toilets.
It's funny how we don't think about how important these things are.
We counted over 100 taps and over 50 toilets in our school. We have plenty of clean water and toilets at our school.
Of course we do, it's just normal, right?
Wrong. Many children living in the poorest communities around the world do not have taps, running clean water or toilets in their schools.
Around the world, 1 in 3 schools don't have access to these basics.
even if they do have toilets, the toilets are in a very poor condition.
Imagine going to school without taps and toilets.
This is more than an inconvenience.
It's a barrier stopping their education and their future that they deserve.
It's not fair and it shouldn't be normal. How important is it to have clean running water in this school from a scale of 1 to 10? Why?
It's an absolute 10.
10, 100%.
Water, we can't live without water. We need to drink all day, so we'd have to get it in somehow. And having to bring in loads of bottles of water would be really difficult. We also need to make sure it's clean because you can very easily get lots of diseases, infections from unclean water. And we use water to flush away waste with toilets and things like that.
I definitely need water because otherwise we wouldn't be able to have nice clean stairs, windows, floors, tables. So we definitely need water to clean, keep the school clean.
Obviously we need to be hydrated, to be healthy, we need water to make sure, especially down in here, we've always got to make sure our hands are clean.
6-year-old Pa lives in a country called Madagascar. His school had horrible dirty toilets and taps. He says,
At my school there was no clean running water and nowhere to wash our hands. I would be at school from 7 o'clock in the morning until 1 o'clock in the afternoon without any water to drink. I was so thirsty I couldn't concentrate and felt sleepy because I wanted a drink so much.
Then the school got a clean new toilet and water system, and Pa says,
"We have clean running water at our school and village now. It's so nice. I can drink when I want and I'm not thirsty all the time and I don't have to collect water from a long way away."
But still, 1 in 3 schools around the world do not have access to clean running water.
We need water to wash our hands or germs can spread.
Look at this.
The paint represents germs on our hands.
By touching other hands, germs will spread.
Even by touching the same thing as a germy hand, germs will spread.
That shows how quickly germs can spread. We can easily reduce the spread of germs just by washing our hands. But how can you stop the spread of germs if you have nowhere to wash your hands? If we can't wash your hands, germs will keep spreading and we'll keep getting ill. This would mean we'd have to miss school.
Around the world, over 1.5 billion people a year die due to poor washing facilities.
And most of these are children.
Not only do germs spread when people can't wash, they also spread when there is no clean drinking water.
Often the village where the school is has no clean water and it has to be collected from a long way away.
I feel bad for them. They have to travel for their water while we can just go to the tap.
The task of collecting water falls mainly to women and children, especially girls, who carry water an average of 6 kilometres a day.
That's like walking all the way from school along Jamaica Road to the Tower Bridge and then back to school.
Can you guess what these are? This is a photo of toilets in a primary school in Ethiopia.
This is the UK. This is Ethiopia. These toilets are used by all children in the school.
I wonder how you would feel if our school toilets were like the ones in this picture.
In some of the poorest communities around the world, this is reality for many children.
If they are lucky enough to have toilets at school, this is what they are like.
Charities like WaterAid do lots of work with some of the poorest communities around the world to provide clean running water, decent toilets and promote good hygiene such as hand washing.
WaterAid worked with the local community to build new toilets for the children to use at the school in Ethiopia.
Not all schools are as lucky as this one.
How important is it to have flushing toilets in our school?
It's really important again because it's about diseases, and if you don't have the toilets flushing, they're static, and therefore you can get all sorts of germs, smell. It's horrible. Somebody will have to clean them out.
You go to the toilet and you can't flush it, it's going to end up smelling, isn't it? So we definitely need water.
How many times do you use the toilet on an average school day?
What would you do if there were no toilets? Hold it in, find somewhere to go.
Where would you go to the toilet? How would you clean yourself?
Would you want to go to school if there was no toilets?
We hope that you understand how lucky we are to have taps and toilets in our school.
We cannot live without taps and toilets. Because every child has the right to safe drinking water and clean and healthy conditions.
But too many are denied this right.
We also hope you understand why United Nations Global Goal number 6 is so important.
It is vital that by the year 2030 there is access to clean water and sanitation for all.
Because every child has the right to safe drinking water and clean and healthy conditions.
But too many denied this right.
So